Now, as you can see behind me, this old car, and it has a trailer on it. Bushell's tea. Now, I can't be really sure, but in the old days, you know, you used to get a lot of things delivered to you from the shop. When I was a kid, there'd be an old truck that'd come up the road, and he'd have fruit and veggies on it. He'd come up the street and he'd ring his bell, and people would come out and buy their fruit and veggies off him. And another time there was a bakery a few streets away, and he had a horse and cart, and he used to have an old horse called Barney. And you know, he'd walk up the street and he'd take the bread out of his basket, and when he was up the street he used to just whistle at this horse, and the horse would clip clop up the road and follow him up the road, and they used to deliver the bread. And also in the middle of the night, you know, in the old days the milk used to come in bottles, and you'd leave your clean empty bottles out the front, and in the middle of the night you'd hear rattle 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 on your front veranda as the milkman would collect his bottles, and he'd leave 2 bowls of milk for you on the porch. But this next building I'm going to go into interests me because I'm a butcher by trade from years ago. I haven't done it for years, but it's like riding a bike, you don't forget. But this next building's a butcher shop. So let's go inside and have a bit of a look and see what they've got. So I'll just turn this around for you. So in here we've got a butcher shop. Here's the counter. Down here's his fridge. So you'd come in here in the old days and he'd be there, and as you can see on the wall it's got some pretty scary looking sausages. But you know, it's got his saw. Things haven't changed much. You know, you have a chopping block, and you know, down here is his old chopping block. You wouldn't get them today because they'd say they'd be unhygienic. You know, all the greenies would be shooting you down. But you know, you can see there the rails. You know, in a butcher shop you push the meat out, a quarter of a cow, and hang it on the rail, and then you cut it up, and you go from there. And I can only presume through the next door there's probably where the fridge used to be, or however they used to do it. But yeah, quite good. Yeah, I like those kind of things. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks. Here we have a little bit of a general store. These are plastic fruit obviously, but you'd come in here. I can remember when I was a kid, you know, the supermarket used to be probably even a little bit smaller than a 4 or 5 bedroom house these days. And you go in there and you buy your weekly shopping, and that's just how it was. Used to have fridges like that. I remember all that clearly. So let's go to the next building and see what we've got down here. Now here's an example of what I was saying. I don't know if you can see that, but you know, a fruiterer. So he'd come around in his horse and cart selling you. He'd bring the fruit and veggies to your area, and that's how people made their living in those days. Not sure what we got here, but walk down and have a look. It's number 77. They've given us this bit of paper. You can't see it very well, but every place has a number, so it gives you an idea of what you're looking at. Ticket office from the Adelaide Exhibition Grounds, 1895. Wow. Let's go inside and have a look. 1895. Well, I'm not sure what I'm looking at, but well, that's quite amazing. Let's get up here. Now, all these things you've seen here, you know, everything used to be in 35mm film. So when you go to the picture theatre or one of those local halls like I showed you last time, they'd set up one of these projectors. Everyone would sit down and they'd play a movie for everybody. And everybody would sit down and watch a movie. Old film camera, Sony. You know, that's old, but it's pretty modern for its time. These old Brownie box cameras used to have a bit of film in it. Take a picture, wind the handle and wind the film on. Quite amazing, really. You know, when you look at that camera, and then today I use a Nikon D800. It's a pretty good camera. Takes good photos, but today I thought I'd just play around with the video. But all these old projectors, quite amazing. Very, very good. Okay, then look at this old film projector. Gosh, that's I don't really understand it, but I know that it used to play movies. Okay, let's go.